Hey guys, my name is Gabby, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing the first date book tag. I'm going to be putting the link in the description for the original video if you want to check that out. I just saw these questions and I thought it looked like a super cute and adorable tag and I wanted to do it, so let's do it. In the middle of the night, so question 1 is that awkward first date, a book where something felt off. It wasn't a bad book, but it lacked that spark for you. For this, I'm gonna go with one of my most recent reads, and that is We Own Tonight by Corinne Michaels. Unfortunately, this book just didn't really work for me. I really wanted to love it, but the main characters didn't feel like they had any chemistry, and I just couldn't get myself to like it, and it definitely just lacked that spark for me. Super bummed about because I was really hyped for this book, so... Number 2 is The Cheap First Date, a book that turned out to be less than you expected. This I'm gonna go with Until It Fades by K.A. Tucker because I really love K.A. Tucker, but this book just didn't really live up to my expectations, I guess. It really just wasn't what I was expecting it to be, and I just didn't really like either of the main characters in this book. I don't know, it was just less than I expected, for sure. Number 3 is Well Prepared First Date, better than expected. For this, I'm gonna go with another one of my recent reads, which is Full Tilt by Emma Scott, and this is a new adult romance contemporary novel that just completely knocked me off my feet. Like, I was not expecting to like this book as much. My friend Dylan recommended it to me. So good. And as he said, it's kind of like an adult version of The Fault in Our Stars, like a new adult version of that. As this book was so good, it's written so beautifully, and it just like completely took me off guard by how much I loved it. Number 4 is Hot But Dumb, a pretty book but not so hot on the inside. For this, I'm gonna be going with Next Year for sure because I love this cover, all the like pastels. I just think it's like one of the most beautiful covers, but I did not enjoy this story at all. I think I gave it like 1 or 2 stars. I freaking hated it, and it has really low ratings on Goodreads too, but I just think it's such a gorgeous cover. It's such a shame. Number 5 is Blind Date, a book you picked up without knowing anything about it. For that, I'm going with Colleen Hoover's new book, Without Merit. I really just jumped into this book without knowing anything about it. I just knew it was Colleen Hoover's newest book. I didn't even know that it was young adult, like, until I started reading it, so I really went into this knowing nothing, and I enjoyed it, actually. I liked not knowing anything going into it. It made it really fun. It was just so good, and it was so unexpected and original. Number 6 is Speed Dating. Pick a book that you read super fast. And I mention this all the time, but Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is a book that I read in one sitting all day really fast. Just couldn't stop, couldn't put it down. It was the most crazy adrenaline rush reading this book. I loved it. Number 7 is The Rebound, a book that you read too soon after a book hangover, and it kind of ruined the book for you. Unrivaled by Allison Noel, because I read this almost immediately after I finished It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover for the first time, and I just could not get into it because I kept thinking about like Lily from It Ends With Us and Alice and all those characters, and I was so emotionally devastated after finishing It Ends With Us that I didn't like the next couple of books that I read because of it, and I was just like, this was one of them. I couldn't get into this book. Not that this book was that great anyways, but like, it definitely had an impact, I think, on my enjoyment of it. Number 8 is Overly Enthusiastic Date. Pick a book that felt like it was trying way too hard. So for this, I'm gonna go with Wish You Were Here by Renee Carlino. Renee Carlino is one of my favorite authors, so I was very disappointed when I didn't like this book, but I do feel like this book was trying way too hard to make you cry. It was trying way too hard to be like other books that make you cry, and I just hated these characters. I didn't like them, didn't care. Ugh, it was like the biggest disappointment of the year for me. Number 9 is The Perfect First Date, a book that did everything right for you. Autobiography by Christina Lauren. Normally I would go with my go-to answer, that's We Are the Ants, of course, because that's the perfect first date, but I do think that this book did everything right for me, and I really loved it, and it's a male-male romance that follows, one of them is a Mormon boy, and so it follows the Mormon religion very closely, and it's just a very powerful story. I loved everything about it. It's just so good. Right, and number 10 is Humiliating First Date, a book you're embarrassed to admit you liked, or you're embarrassed to see reading in public for whatever reason. I'm gonna go with Sex, Love, and Repeat by Alessandra Torre, and kind of just for that title alone, it's just kind of very like, you know, but this book does have a girl that's in a relationship with 2 guys at the same time, and both of the guys are aware of it. One of those books that I actually really enjoyed, and I don't think that the writing is that terrible, because Alessandra Torre is a new adult romance author, so she is a great author, you know, and I I really enjoyed this book and I'm kind of embarrassed about it. That was the first date book tag. What about like real first dates? Like, have you guys ever been on a really terrible first date in real life? And if you have, I want to know about it. And I haven't been on a terrible first date. I've been on like an awkward first date, but that's about it. So let me know in the comments and I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.
In the middle of the night,
Kind enough to send me this book. That's irrelevant. Okay.